Molina hit Rodri in the chest. Paredes grabbed Eric Garcia by the throat before dropping Gavi to the ground. The fight became so violent that even the coaches got involved. Argentina had just lost the World Cup final to Spain, and instead of losing with grace, they turned their backs when Spain lifted the trophy. But as it turns out, this isn't the first time, and it isn't even close to the worst. Where the real problem started. Right after the fight, the backlash was immediate. Fans demanded suspensions. Others wanted lifetime bans. Even FIFA was forced to open an investigation within hours. Many thought the Argentine offenders would at least face some punishment from the federation, but instead of handing out punishments, 5 days passed, and FIFA still hadn't announced a single punishment. That caused a lot of outrage, so much that an online petition was put up asking FIFA to ban Argentina from all future World Cup tournaments. That petition exploded across social media, attracting more than 23 million signatures from over 170 countries, making it one of the largest sports petitions ever recorded. Some called the fights disgraceful, and many agreed Argentina looked more interested in violent wrestling than playing football. But here's the thing, none of this was new for the team. In fact, Argentina's role as the villain of modern football did not begin in 2026, or with Lionel Messi. And to fully understand the reason behind the team's violent behavior at the final and FIFA's strange response to the situation, you have to go all the way back to 1966, back to a single offensive word from an English manager that still isn't forgiven to this day. It happened at Wembley during the quarterfinal against the host nation. About 30 minutes in, the German referee sent off Argentina's captain Antonio Rattín from the pitch for saying something offensive. But the problem wasn't that simple. Rattín spoke Spanish while the referee spoke German. Neither man understood a word the other was saying, and because of this, Rattín refused to leave. The captain demanded a translator to tell him what he did wrong. The match was held up for 8 minutes while Argentina's players surrounded the referee. Other officials tried to manage the situation, but things were only about to get much worse. When Rattín finally walked off the pitch, he sat down on the red carpet that had been rolled out for the Queen, and on his way past the Union Jack flag, he gave it an angry tug. England won by a single goal. Yet the major highlight of that match seemed to be what happened right afterwards. England's manager Alf Ramsey refused to let his players trade shirts with the Argentina squad. Some reports say he told the press the Argentine players behaved like animals. That single word stuck for several years, and it would become the seed of a bitter rivalry that has now lasted for 6 decades. From that moment on, Argentina would become the team that pushed the rules, argued with officials, and always crossed the line if it meant getting an edge. But if 1966 built the reputation, 1978 is where things got sinister. Bigger fouls and controversies. Argentina hosted that World Cup just 2 years after a military dictatorship seized power under General Jorge Videla. The country was in the middle of what became known as the Dirty War, a period where thousands of people disappeared and got put down for opposing the regime. This war was so sinister that some historians believe hosting the World Cup was a tool used deliberately to distract the world and clean up the government's image. And like that wasn't bad enough, Argentina's next major controversy was about to happen. In the final round of the second group stage, Argentina needed to beat Peru by 4 clear goals to jump over Brazil, reach the final, and seize the World Cup. Argentina's kickoff was scheduled after Brazil's, so their players knew the exact scoreline they needed before they even stepped onto the pitch. And then, something very strange happened. Somehow, the team that had scored only 6 goals across the whole tournament suddenly put 6 goals past Peru in a single match. People immediately pointed to Peru's goalkeeper, who had actually been born in Argentina. For this reason, many thought Argentina's military government government had put in pressure in exchange for a favorable result. General Videla allegedly visited Peru's locker room before kickoff, but to this day, none of it has ever been proven in court. After that situation passed, Maradona would only make things worse through one crucial moment that would ruin Argentina's reputation for decades. This happened in the 1986 quarterfinal against England. During that match, Maradona rose for a loose ball and punched it into the net with his fist. Neither the referee nor the linesman agreed to seeing it, and the goal stood. 4 minutes later, Maradona scored what is still considered the greatest individual goal in World Cup history, dribbling past most of the England team. Afterwards, when asked about the handball, he did not apologize. He said the goal came a little with the head of Maradona and a little with the hand of God. He never expressed a shred of regret. Analysts called it a mix of genius and deception, yet to everyone's surprise, it would not be the last. Mockery and international scandals. And if you thought the hand of God situation was as bad as it could get, then you'd be wrong. The 1990 final turned out to be a lot worse. Argentina went into that match as defending champions, but they were already missing 4 suspended players. Then, during the game itself, they lost 2 more. Pedro Monzon was sent off for a reckless tackle on Jurgen Klinsmann. He became the first player ever red-carded in a World Cup final, and minutes after West Germany scored the winning penalty, Gustavo Dizzotti grabbed an opponent by the neck and was sent off too. Argentina finished the match with 9 men. The referee later said he could have sent off Maradona before the game had even started, just for his reportedly disgraceful behavior during the anthem. It was so bad that newspapers at the time called it one of the ugliest finals in the sport's history. Some disagreed, but 4 years later, Maradona's career still ended in disgrace anyway, especially when he tested positive for a banned stimulant at the 1994 World Cup and was sent home mid-tournament. It was one of the rare moments where Argentina was not the victim of a bad decision. They were simply caught red-handed, and that leads us to the many controversies surrounding one famous player, Lionel Messi. Fast forward to modern times, and the pattern did not stop. It just changed form. In 2022's controversial quarter-final against the Netherlands, the referee handed out a World Cup record 18 yellow cards. Argentina led 2-0 before Wout Weghorst dragged the Dutch level with a stoppage time equalizer, and tempers exploded. Leandro Paredes smashed the ball straight into the Netherlands bench. This act caused a violent confrontation between both sets of players and staff. Argentina won on penalties, and Messi capped it off by mocking Netherlands manager Louis van Gaal with a taunting celebration before telling Weghorst to go away in the tunnel. Though to be fair, Van Gaal had provoked Argentina before the match even started. However, what happened during the final game would make things a lot worse. Argentina beat France on penalties, and their celebrations became just as talked about as the trophy. Goalkeeper Emiliano Martinez, fresh off winning the Golden Glove, made a crude gesture with the award on the podium and called for a mocking minute of silence for Mbappe in the locker room. Days later, during the victory parade in Buenos Aires, he was pictured holding a baby doll with Mbappe's face taped onto it. It was mockery, not hatred, and Martinez has always insisted it was nothing more than dressing room humor that should have stayed private. Now keep that in mind, because that will be important soon. Just 2 years after that situation, something far more serious happened. During Argentina's Copa America celebrations in 2024, a video surfaced of several players, including Enzo Fernandez, singing a chant with racist and homophobic lyrics about France's players, referencing the African countries their parents came from. This was not a mockery of a rival. Many agreed this was where Argentina officially crossed the line. This This was a genuine racism scandal. Fernandez apologized, and Chelsea launched disciplinary action against him. The French Federation filed an official complaint, and FIFA opened an investigation. Messi never issued a public statement, even as pressure mounted on him as captain. This is the moment that separates Argentina's reputation for gamesmanship from something much more serious, and it deserves to be treated that way, not lumped in with the doll or the celebrations. With that said, it brings us back to 2026 and the brawl that started this whole conversation. Why the world turned against Argentina. Lionel Messi started Argentina's opening group match against Algeria, where he stepped on defender Issa Mandi with his studs showing and caught him on the calf. The referee gave only a foul with no card, or a strong review by VAR. Messi stayed on, scored a hat-trick, and Argentina won 3-0. Algeria felt the decision was serious enough to report to FIFA's referees committee, arguing Messi should have been sent off. The controversy only got worse in the round of 16 against Egypt. Egypt led 2-0 with 11 minutes left before VAR ruled out an Egyptian goal for a foul earlier in the build-up. Argentina then scored twice in 4 minutes and completed a 3-2 comeback in stoppage time. Egypt's coach Hossam Hassan accused officials of cheating his team, while others claimed the tournament favored Argentina. But FIFA continued to defend its referees. FIFA's head of refereeing, Pierluigi Collina, explained that VAR exists to correct missed fouls, and that a foul remains a foul even if it is not seen live. He also rejected Egypt's penalty appeals, saying some contact is simply normal after playing the ball first. His final message was clear: unfounded allegations have no place in our sport. Argentina were playing their last game with Messi at 39 years old, chasing back-to-back titles. They lost to Spain in extra time after Enzo Fernandez picked up a second yellow card and left them down to just 10 men. The second the final whistle blew, the chaos began. Molina struck Rodri. Paredes grabbed Eric Garcia by the throat and shoved Gavi to the ground when he tried to step in. Even the coaching staff got physically involved. But the problem didn't stop there. During the medal ceremony, most of the Argentina squad turned their backs on the podium while Spain lifted the trophy, even though Spain had formed a guard of honor and applauded them just minutes earlier. As of the making of this video, FIFA claims it's still investigating, but regardless of the punishment, the image is already burned into the tournament's history, and it fits a pattern that started 50 years before most of these players were even born. So then, why does this keep happening? Well, part of the answer is simply that Argentina keeps winning. Since Lionel Scaloni took over, they have won 2 Copa America titles, a Finalissima and the 2022 World Cup. All of this, coupled with the recent debacle at the World Cup final, shows us why Argentina is considered the most hated team of this tournament. Many other scandals led up to the World Cup final of 2026, but we want to hear them from you in the comments below. Are you a fan of Messi or the team? Do you think they deserve the hate? Let us know all about it in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now click on the next video shown on your screen. You will enjoy it. Until next time, take care.